We're live. Now, welcome, everybody. I'm warmed up tonight. Not nervous, I promise, like I am every other week. Dave's playing some tunes in the background. You have to speak now if anybody in the first couple of minutes of the stream has an issue with the audio levels. So, because on Wednesday, we were 10 minutes into the stream and people were complaining that I was too loud and other people were too low. So, Brian, would you like to say hello and everybody do a mic test?
Hi, everybody. How's everyone doing? I hope you can hear me very good in the chat, and I hope you can hear Dave and Scott, of course, because if you don't hear either of them, then it's going to be a pretty boring stream because it'll just be me talking.
Hi, I'm Dave.
Can everybody hear Dave?
This is Dave saying things that are words.
Dave is making noises. They are words. How's everyone?
Sorry.
Making
all the noises.
So, everybody has a couple of minutes to let me know if the levels are okay before we start. We're going to have a bit of a warm-up or a bit of a chat. Make sure that everybody's happy. I'm happy. Brian, are you happy?
Can I bring up a topic to chat on just briefly while we play?
Of course.
Okay. I wanted to poke fun at some people in the chat playfully, of course, because I love everybody here. I really do. A comment made me laugh in one of my most recent videos I narrated for Scott here. They said, "Dave, I like you a lot, but I can't stand the way you pronounce the word Vaughn. It's supposed to be Fawn, not Vaughn." And I went, "But I'm Brian, and this is my name, and I had it for 31 years." I'm like, please, why are you trying to bully me?
I love it whenever. Hello, yeah, there you go. There's Rusty Roo May. Scott, i.e. me, is MrRipper.
See, we already got another one.
Brian is, I don't know, actually it might be this way because of the reverse.
Listen, you can tell me because I have double rainbow death punch on my shirt today.
That's Brian, and Dave is the gentleman playing the music.
Dave's the most talented one in terms of the music, so you know him easy.
What's my talent?
I don't know. I heard your mixtape, Brian. It was hot fire.
Very 80s electro.
It was that gritty. It was on that gritty street shit, bro. That gritty street shit, talking about all kinds of things that are definitely not family friendly.
I would never do that.
Peaceful piano music.
Mwah, beautiful, peaceful. Mwah. Scott's talent is bringing us all together, keeping us one family-friendly. Where we're all safe and happy.
My talent is not making, like, putting my webcam up and making myself look a wee bit creepy. Oh, 1 second. Oh, no, I can't fix it. I'll bring my chair down.
We're professional streamers.
There's Artifacts. Yes, Artifacts there in the chat. He is the gentleman that does all the art on the channel now. The graphics when the stream is loading, that's him. All the thumbnails, that's him. Apart from the odd one that Hannah does for the live stream, because she's just as talented too. We're just chatting to you because we always have a wee bit of chat first, and then while we're warming up, go talk through business. Make sure there's no complaints. You know, I'm the HR guru of this team. Stop everybody fighting.
I'm like that on your new server now, apparently. Yes. Everyone's like, just call Brian Dad. He can solve all the problems. I'm like, okay.
Discord. Yes. MrRipper's. I don't like my angle. MrRipper's group finder.
Let's all have an unflattering angle to help Scott feel better about his
That's my good side. MrRipper's group finder is MrRipper's group finder. To be clear, I would like you to find a group, make new friends, be happy. Everybody, be one. Then possibly find another server and play there, and then come back and make new friends and then bring them along with you. Now, there is talk about maybe starting some role play on the Discord server itself. I'm being talked into it, so that'll hope. You never know, that might start soon. Somebody will be able to direct you in the chat. The other server does exist, but it is not my control. So if you've got any major complaints, talk to the mods there. So, Dave, you're very quiet, mate. You're just playing away.
I'm just in the zone, man.
He's just having a good
spice
time
today, man.
Levels, even I know that's slightly off. I'm gonna boost you a wee touch.
I mean, like, this is some beautiful shit that's coming out of me right now.
It
I'm
is.
just letting it flow.
That's
Yeah.
perfect for the stream so we could just chill. Everyone can have fun, relax.
And we just have wee like
This
for
is a
chat.
classy affair, motherfucker. Like, that's how we do.
Oh yeah.
It's a classy fucking place to be. And what better way to punctuate
Emphasize
classy
that, yeah.
I've
than
had
an acoustically treated piano.
I've had too many Jack Daniels to read the chat, so I'm squinting. If anybody,
Yeah, me too. But I haven't had Jack. I had cherry brandy, and I'm just really, really tired. So
tea
when
time, man.
this
What you
game's
doing?
over, I'm gonna pass out.
It's late at night here, Elijah. Sorry, my big light. I'm gonna have to get some stream lights or something because my big light.
Oh, what happened to it?
That one
Did it?
there. The bulbs went, but it's a family tradition for bulbs to go out, and nobody replaced them for about 4 years.
Dude, that's me too. I just say someone else will handle it. It's dark. Someone else will get bored and like, I can't see in this room anymore.
Yeah. Well. So it's what's it? 10:10 here. Okay. I think without trying to break the stream, we are going to do our very first story. Now,
Am I kicking it off like usual?
no,
Ooh.
no. We're gonna flex it. We're gonna mess it up. Now, I want the people in the chat to tell us, did we read this one last week? Because I don't think we did, but Dave found it and liked it.
I don't think we did.
I feel like I've seen a post from my Likey to Monkey before, but I feel like it wasn't this one.
Dave's right. We saw a post by I Like You Demonkey, but we didn't have Eric Cockra with math.
Good. Dave, you're up.
Okay, great. Let me full screen this.
Oh yeah, no, this is absolutely something different. I would have recognized it. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks
All
good.
right. How to Confuse an Eric Cockra with Math by I Like You / I Like You Demonkey. My D&D group is once again up to their usual chaotic shenanigans, and the entire party begged me to post this story to Reddit. I've shared some of their stories before, but the party currently consists of a Triton Druid, a Genasi Urban Bounty Hunter Monk, a human wizard, a changeling rogue, get it? I changed it, an Aarakocra bard, and her now adopted Kenku son. Specifically, this tale revolves around the wizard and the bard, but more on that in a bit. To set the stage, the party had just spotted the druid's parents, who had been searching for her. Not wanting to see her parents just yet, the druid told the party in secret that she had run away from home after being suspected of a crime she didn't commit, and fled to the land where they wouldn't look for her. Attempting to ease her nerves before going to meet her parents, the party went to the nearby bathhouse, and then to the tavern for food. At some point during their meal at the tavern, the discussion of disgusting seafood had come up, which reminded the human wizard of a story he had once heard. He told the rest of the party about this one tavern that sold poor quality food and that twice 2 people got food poisoning. This confused the bard, making her wonder why someone would go back to the tavern if their food had already made them sick once before. With a smirk on his face, the wizard then replied, "Well, they're shut down now, but here's the thing. Just how many people got sick?" The Aarakocra bard, racking her bird brain as the player put it, 2? Trying his best not to laugh, the wizard replied, "No, think carefully. Twice 2 people got food poisoning." Once more, the bard stopped to think before uttering anything that came to mind. 5. No, wait, 8. No, 3. That's the 3 of the scale I'm in. Hey. Try again. Twice 2 people got food poisoning. Absolutely baffled, the bard started to count on her fingers. I think it's 12. She continued to keep counting as the rogue and druid quickly ordered some drinks, and for a time it seemed that the bard had given up on trying to solve the equation. The rest of the party moved on to another topic, and several minutes later, the bard squawked, "I've got it! It's 4! It's 4 because if 2 people got sick the first time, and then 2 more got sick the second time, then it's 4 people!"
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I can't do math either, so I feel for that poor Aarakocra.
I can do math. or Maz, as it's known here. Thank you very much, Sniper Wolf 075, for the $5. Somebody had mentioned that I read stories for $5 super chats. That's not true. If we had $100, I'd maybe consider it, but
yeah, we need $100 for him to read a story minimum because he is very nervous. But he has a good voice
It's
for
not
it.
that I'm nervous. It's the fact that there's a reason why you two are employed here. Because I don't want to do it, and I can't do it. The other thing is that Jay Ross in the chat is advertising the Cool Kids Club. I have nothing to do with that place, just to let you know. So Sniper Wolf, join, have fun. If you have any complaints, please don't message me.
Jay Ross.
Just Jay Ross, or as he's known, Leaf. How was your pizza, Leaf? That's what I want to know. And Sniper Wolf, I'd love to play D&D with everybody, but I'm severely limited. So Wednesday nights for me, which is the most fun bit of my week, and this is my second most fun bit of my week. Not by much, because I enjoy chatting the day of Brian and everybody in the chat, but I had loads of fun last week. It's going to sound terrible, but without Dave. He was missed, but it was a good episode.
Sorry.
Dave had real...
I had to work.
Dave,
I had a real job.
yeah, I know. I'm going to boost you, Dave, again, because you sound quiet.
Oh, it
at
was
the
fucking sweet, though. They paid me a day rate for a half day. How can you say no?
Yeah, and
how can you say no?
And Rip Daddy,
double time, sure, let's go.
Rip Daddy encourages everybody to work their real job, because real life matters.
I'm trying my best.
Yeah, real life matters. That's all I'm gonna say.
It's just hard finding actual voice work to do because people are like, "Oh, I could do it cheaper." It's like, yeah, but can you do it better?
Any complaints about Brian's voice acting work, please direct at team at MrRipper.net.
Team at MrRipper.net, and then we'll file it under the paper shredder.
It's weird. I don't get that many emails on that one. Every other email address I have gets absolutely hammered.
Really?
Yeah, but that one's nice and quiet.
Oh, well, at least we have some silence with that, I'm sure. So there you go.
I actually mentioned to somebody in real life, a person called Tracy, who is I knew that this person was probably, you know, whenever you meet somebody and you're thinking, is this person as crazy as me?
Oh,
Do
yeah.
they like role-playing games? Are they into that? And I mentioned it, that the YouTube channel, blah, 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 blah. And I wasn't surprised. And she was a massive Pathfinder player. She said she was going to watch tonight with her husband. So I'm wondering if this person...
Well, if you guys are here, hi.
If they're here, though. Yeah.
It's just us doing stories. That's what we do.
The joys of the internet is that you don't really need... I don't really tell everybody that, you know, it's like, what do you do for a living? And you go, I have a YouTube channel. They think you're crazy. What about you, Brian? Whenever you tell people what you do for a living, what do they think?
Everybody asks me, like, you know, what do you do for a living? I said, well, primarily I'm a voice actor, but I got started narrating first, and they said, oh, that's impressive, because apparently narrating's harder than voice acting. And I'm like, is it? That's weird. But then I say, yeah, I also have a YouTube channel. I'm trying to boost up as much as I can so I could maybe make a living off that on my own, as my own personal creation. And they said, most people, as long as they're in, like, our generation, they don't mind. They're like, oh, that's kind of cool. That's like, you know, it's interesting. Let's see what you got. And then you have the people that are out of touch with the internet, and they go, well, back in my day, I had to walk 6 feet up a hill with snow covering my feet. And it's like, do you know what I do? No, I don't know why anyone would watch. And I'm like, is that an insult to me?
Yeah.
Or are you, like, what? Like, my dad's like, well, I don't know what people would watch that kind of content. I don't get it. And I'm like, that's because it's not aimed at you.
I know. My dad was like, this becoming a full-time job.
Yeah.
I got it. You know this story. I got offered another IT job. That's what I do. That's what I did. And I got offered an IT manager's job, a big company, telecoms company, blah, 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 blah. I keep on saying that. I've had too many drinks. What was happening was that I had 2 weeks off in between, and I'm thinking to myself, what am I doing? Why am I going for it? So I told my dad, and he was like, oh, you're mad. But
yeah, same here.
I'd already went out. He says, "Oh, you were always going to pull this. You were always going to this." I went out and bought a car. So I have a very nice car that I drive round the block to the shop. That's all it does. It goes round the block to the shop. If I knew I was going to do that at the start, I wouldn't have spent the money on the car. So.
Yeah, see, when I said that to my dad, he was encouraging me to do the voice acting, and then he just didn't understand like the content. He's like, what is all this about? And I'm like, stuff you wouldn't understand. He's like, well, aren't you trying to market it to anyone? I'm like, not to you. I'm not going to explain it.
I hope that you pay your father very, very good housekeep, Bran.
I'm very good with that. I cook, I clean, I offer to do all the heavy lifting because, you know, Mr. Muscle. I do anything they need because I don't care. And I offer to pay for anything internet related too.
Oh, internet related? I like it.
Yeah, I'm the one that has to, if I suck down all the bandwidth, then I better pay for it. I'm like, yeah, you pay for what you're using, then I'll pay for what I'm using, man. I got it.
I guess when people approach me and they're like, "Oh, what do you do?" The first answer is a lot.
A lot.
But yeah, this is mainly my bread and butter. But it's not as surprising, I guess, to the people who know me who ask what I'm doing, because I've been around the YouTube world since like 2011. Like I've played guitar and done stuff for like some YouTubers who were popping off back in like almost 10 years ago now. I was on the first ever YouTube national tour, so like there was no illusion to my parents that this couldn't be a thing that like is a career option for people. I was a part of like an earlier wave of it already, and it's been really fun to kind of see a new resurgence and like a new style of like content creation and community curation. It's really kind of interesting to see how the platform has evolved over the past 15 years, however long it's been out.
It's dead obvious what you do, Dave, because when did you legally change your name to Mr. Makes Noises?
I didn't legally change it. My name is still what my name be. But I started going as Dave Makes Noises in 2018.
Ooh, it's new.
Yeah.
Nice.
Before that, it was just like my name because I didn't care. But I decided that I wanted to like build a bit of like a kind of a brand and like put intention into it and, you know, kind of categorize it. And now I've like categorized the noises that I make into like bleeps, bloops, plinks, plonks, and clang jangles. And what I'm playing for you right now would be considered plinks and plonks.
The funny thing about the MrRipper name is that it was just made up. That's the worst thing about that. Yeah, Brian Bond VA is pretty obvious where that came from.
Yeah, it's just my last name with VA. I was going to do something else.
I do lots of stuff.
I wanted something that was cool, fresh for the kids. I like
Cool,
that.
hip, and fresh.
And then obviously you make a channel and people know you by that. I don't really have a name. My name's Scott. And that's what people know me by. So
That's probably what confuses everyone when I say Mr. Ripper is Scott. And they're like, who the hell's that? Aren't you Mr. Ripper? I'm like, I'm Brian. That's Scott.
yeah,
Scott, aka Big Rig Rips.
big red rips. J. Ross mentioned that I might look trashed. Yeah, I've had a few Jack Daniels tonight, but still with it. Still with it. Brian, I've picked this one for you because I love it whenever people start with "I apologize for any grammar mistakes," and it also giant.
Is it them T
420.
giant 420 blaze it? Beep, 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 beep.
He also said he's a big fan of MrRipper. So
Well, I'll do your story justice, giant 420.
yeah, I think that's enough. Anybody would say to me, "Oh, I'm a big fan." They're going to get the story read.
Absolutely. If the more you tell us that you actually listen to our stuff and you really like it, you tell us your favorite narrator, and we're going to do the opposite and read it in the other person's voice.
The other thing about it is if you basically say that there's bad grammar and they apologize, Brian gets it live on a
that's
Sunday.
mine. That's mine automatically because I'm gonna love you for typing us the story and for being our fan, but I'm gonna want to strangle you for typing it incorrectly.
If English isn't your first language, as there's a lot of people out there that English isn't their first
Yeah.
language, Brian is your man. So Brian, take it away.
Okay. How a 3-person battle royale became the massacre of the Muppets. Kermit, you're on the chopping block. Oh no. Hello, I'm on mobile and do apologize for any grammar mistakes. Also, hi, Mr. Ripper, big fan of the show. So, hi, Mr. Ripper, he's a big fan of you. Let's begin. Me and my MTG group, Magic the Gathering, I assume that means, wanted to take a break from playing a bit, so we branched out into D&D 5e homebrewed, a lot of it for a new time player. I believe the new player, against my advice, decided to play a Goliath warlock named Bob. Easy enough. I played a homebrew race, Battle Mage, for a test run, way to OP, and my other friend played a black dragonborn assassin called Asshat. I'm loving the logic here so far.
Name. I like it.
Has a kill ass.
That sounds familiar.
He has a real name, but this character causes decided.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
I know.
That
was a lot to read. So let's see how this shitstorm happened. Also, forgot to mention, we were level 20. I assumed you guys were already going OP levels here. As our characters see each other, we fight for a bit. Me and the assassin trade blows back and forth, and our warlock keeps being neutral, claiming he will finish who's left. Then Asshat says something like, "Hey, why don't we just talk? We just saw another and..." Wait. We just saw one another and started beating the ever-loving shit out of each other. Keep in mind I was acting as a pseudo-DM because only 3 of us were playing. So I think for a bit and have some frog people come up now about my new race. They harness a living elemental in them. The one I had was unique as it had 2 earth and fire. Or no, it had 1 earth and 1 fire. Okay, I see where you're going with this. Keep talking to me, camera guy. So when my friend decided to act as the frog folk and did a Kermit the Frog voice, and our assassin decided to take the money from the quick to anger chaotic evil being with an elemental in him. Wait, oh my god, there's no punctuation, so that's why I'm getting confused. So as I tried to take it from my assassin, I had a knife to my throat by a Kermit. Oh no, Miss Piggy, please! My character snapped. My character snapped. He'd been shot, burned by acid breath, and stabbed multiple times. So he surrendered and waited, and he asked if the sloppy knot job the Goliath did would work for cuffs, and he rolled a nat 20. As we get to the town, I unleash my plan. You see, I was slowly charging my magic in my hand and shaped this energy in the sword of earth and fire. And with 1 fire blast to the sky, I was able to round up every woman, child, and man. Isn't it usually man, child, woman? I don't fucking know.
Watch Titanic.
Yeah, it confused me. I'm like, isn't there another way to say it? Man, woman, and child. Yeah, I could find and made a box of earth in front of them and said, I need a volunteer. And said everything. Wait, that really confused me. And said everything. If I'm going to be fined here, I'm here to save them all and the stuff. Nat 20 will get you. I pick a young child and told her to go off on an impossible quest that will take years once I set her off. I murdered everyone else and then ate them. My friend's B assassin still has the frog legs years later. What in God's name? That, not grammar aside, what fucking like Willy Wonka land story is this? I love it. Don't get me wrong, 420. I really love whatever this is. But I feel like I need to be on shrooms to truly appreciate whatever it is.
It starts.
Brian, have you ever been on shrooms before?
No, but I've heard stories.
You have no idea what you're talking about then.
People want to eat their dogs on shrooms. People want to.
This would destroy
like,
you on shrooms. Are you fucking kidding me? You wouldn't even be able to read it. The screen would be wibbly wobbly.
I assume that'd be the best
Especially
way to
with
do
no
it.
punctuation.
Do you want to know something with the amount of
You would think you're tripping harder than you were.
The amount of Jack Daniels that I have in me right now, it's actually made that story very enjoyable. It actually went very well at the start. It did. I think he ran out of commas and he must have ran out of like prepaid commas halfway through because the first wee bit was brilliant as well.
Your phone, was it a Motorola where it's like every prepaid comma costs 20 cents?
Yeah, because the start was brilliant and then it just
it was really good. It died halfway through and I went, what the hell happened?
It was like me with my homework at school where the first wee bit was really well done and the handwriting was brilliant and then boom.
And then the conclusion for the essays were like, and then the princess died. It's like, where'd that come from? We were talking about math equations.
Can I notice in the chat that people were saying that they love the text-to-speech robot, old school.
That's just Ross.
I know, but the funny thing is,
don't believe a word they say.
Guess the name of the text-to-speech robot. Now, I'll give you a 50-50. It's either Dave or Brian. Go on, have a guess.
The initial, I think if it was a British bot, it would have been named Sam. But if it's
it is British,
English bot,
but it was a different one. It was premium. I actually paid money for it.
Oh, then that would probably be Dave because Brian's more Irish.
No, Brian was the name of the bot. So
Oh
it was.
shit! Really?
Yeah. The bugger cost me an absolute fortune, and then then I had to. Yeah, it was expensive. He was an expensive bot.
That's weird.
I know. And then I still own the license for it and everything, but I've never fired him up. I'd love. You see, the thing about it is that technically, I probably could do the old text-to-speech video, but it would be deeply offensive to the people's craft. It would be deeply offensive to you, Brian. It would be deeply offensive to Dave. So that's the reason.
I would be deeply offended if you decided that after all this work that we've put in, you're going to be like,
exactly.
You know what, robot voice.
Yeah, if he did that, I'd be like, "Excuse me, we need to have a conversation."
That.
I know, that's why I never ever brought it up. But yeah, I wouldn't do it anyway because I love listening to Dave and Brian. I get to hear all this. What you see is the polished version. Sometimes Dave and Brian would leave me wee love notes in the videos, the recordings and stuff like that there.
I remember one time I had to edit out a 15-minute note that I made, and I used it as an outtake because I literally there was one story that you had not a year ago, what the hell, a couple months ago, and I was reading it, and it was like the end of this one, except there was no punctuation.
Yeah,
it was like 1,500 words of just pain, and I literally went on this mass row shouting, and my dad's like, "Who are you yelling?" I'm like, "I'm yelling at this illiterate fucking asshole."
We were meant to do that in the live stream.
How dare you make me put it in here?
You were meant to reenact that on the live stream, but we never found it again, and that was the problem. Sometimes
if English ain't your first language, I'm okay with that. That's understandable. It's just when you're American or British and you can speak English and you just choose not to. You have to make the conscious choice. What is a period? Not for me. Grammar doesn't exist.
Brian, are you the Pathfinder expert?
I'm not really an expert, but I do love Pathfinder. I like it a lot more than I do D&D, to be honest. Well, not D&D 5e because that's really easy.
If anybody watches this back through the video on demand bit and they're a Pathfinder guy, share. I wanna learn.
Pathfinder's really good. If anyone out there,
like math.
Yeah,
if you like number crunching,
Math Finder.
That's all I ever know about it. That's the thing I only know because everybody says that to me. It's D&D without maths.
Well, when people ask me, because they ask me on my server, like, what's the difference between D&D and Pathfinder, and I say, Pathfinder is D&D 3.7. It's sort of got a balance between ease of access, but where D&D kind of says, here's theater of the mind, you can do whatever you want to do, but you have to come up with it yourself and make the rules yourself. Pathfinder, instead of paying $150 for all the core rule books, you pay for one book that has double the stuff in it, and they say, here's a bunch of stuff you can copy and make scans of all the time, like, character sheets, all this cool stuff. They have a lot of cool stuff in it. And they say, we have stats for everything if you like numbers. So here's a stat, here's a stat, here's a stat. You never have to worry about not having an imagination ever again because we've got one for you. But then they tell you how to make your own stuff. And I'm like, that's really nice of them. But I know they have a sequel to Pathfinder, but I don't know what they've done with it. But I know the original one was for people who struggle and have a little bit of anxiety and they want like direct information. So like you just look at the book, it's going to be there clearly labeled and there's not going to be jumbled. And they're just going to say, go to page 5, go to page 6. Do you have a problem? Go to page 10. If this certain thing happens, go to page 11. So
I have a question for you, random. Has anybody made a character and they just don't want him to die and live forever?
Yes.
What happens whenever the person dies? That's what I want to know. The character.
I have one down there and I cry.
I think if Killas died, I think it would traumatize me for life. I'm nearly sure.
Well, then you better start playing smarter and stop burning dumpsters, or else Nolan's gonna fucking.
I haven't burned a dumpster in like 3 episodes now.
Yeah, we've been good boys. The dumpster saved our life, and we've been in prison, so.
I know, but
you cry if
not that many dumpsters in prison.
Man.
I was encouraging Shadow and my other new friend that the name's escaping me. To be able to help to burn stuff threatened to burn the tunnels down, but nobody's up for it, unfortunately. If you haven't watched it yet, you can go back and watch it. So they're all there. And I think I need to sort the playlists out, but sure. Let me see here.
But no, seriously, my uncle Douglas, he played D&D. That's where he found his wife, actually, through D&D. And when his characters died, he would actually sometimes his team would have like a little burial. But he played D&D 1, so
Yeah, they do that.
Yeah,
Definitely.
he hand carved his own little like and stuff. So yeah, you have a little send off. You can bury the mini in your yard if you wanted to. I mean, some people do way more, but I'm just saying.
MrRipper and I have been discussing knocking this wall behind. In the other side of that wall is our living room, and if that happens, then I'm gonna need to go upstairs and I'm gonna rejig the house a wee bit and possibly put an office in. And if I get an office, I'm gonna put a lock on it, and I'm gonna try and start doing the whole character painting and things like that there. I'd love to be able to do that.
Oh, you want to paint minis?
Yeah, I have a real thing for it.
Hell yeah, dude.
I don't know why. I have a friend, name drop time, Neckbeardia, and he does, he 3D prints them. You can check him out anytime, I suppose, along with other sponsors that are linked in the description. Craig's Cottage as well. He's very artistic as well. He does dice bags that I still haven't received yet. I got my chair though. And if I get my own office, yeah, it's just gonna be filled with that and planes. I really want to paint planes. I'm not even into planes, but I want to paint them too. But let me see here.
Is this next story me?
It would be you, Dave.
Oh boy,
I want you to
perfect scale for this story too.
Oh, yeah. So hopefully I'll get an office and I'll be able to do all sorts of crazy stuff in it.
And hopefully you get that dice back.
Fingers crossed. I don't think it's coming anymore, but
it's gonna be coming. But I mean, Chelsea, real quick, she had a package that she had to pay customs for that shouldn't have to, but it was been in backlog for like 2 months. So you'll get yours just really late.
No matter how much money these dice bank costs, I will pay the customs fee just so I can be cool.
I will haunt you to the edge of the earth.
I was genuinely excited. I bought this chair in June, and I bought it in June. Sorry, and it took months to arrive.
Lose my internet?
No.
I'm back.
You're back. You never left.
You're there.
Oh, wow.
But
on
when
our side, you're still there.
I got the alert telling me that the chair. I got the alert telling me that something was coming from UPS, and I actually hoped it was the dice bags over the chair because my other chair was leaving me with crippling back pain, and I still wanted the dice bags more than that. So I was really disappointed when I found out it was my chair. But that's it, Dave. I think it's time for you to go.
I'm excited
Ready for it.
Dave. Rock it, buddy.
All right, cool. Posted by you/Liam Hevro 2000, but 3 days ago. So I faced an Oni for the first time, and my character lost his leg. I had heard they were horrible. In our campaign, we were in the capital city and was having some downtime while we were waiting for a certain event. Then we heard of children going missing at night in one of the districts. We started investigating, and it led up to a street full of blacksmiths. We knew it had to be one, so we set up on different rooftops and waited for suspicious activity. My friend heard noises, I make those, and investigated and found the Oni taking a kid from a house we ran up and started taking it on, but it turned invisible. Next thing I know, we were blasted with a cone of cold, which knocked my friend unconscious instantly. And I only stayed conscious because I saved against the spell and I have a ring of cold resistance. It's kind of crazy to think I nearly didn't get this. Then the Oni casts darkness on us, so we can't see anything. A couple turns later, the DM says, "How many hit points do you have?" I say 16. The DM critted on an attack for 39 damage, so for 5 seconds my character was in limbo, whether he died or not, as we worked out damage. It was 4 damage between him and instant death. So the DM said I lost a leg. So now my mercenary warlock needs a new leg. I was thinking mithril. It's crazy to think if I didn't save the spell equals dead. No ring of cold resistance equals probably dead. And if I had put a different score in constitution, he'd be dead. So D&D is a crazy game.
Agreed. It'd be cool to have a mithril leg, though. Dang.
Yeah,
That would be
uh-huh.
fun. Mithril peg, like you just smack someone in the head with it, feel light as a feather, but harder than steel.
I can tell you a funny story about I'm gonna say peg leg, but that's not really politically correct. My granny, grandmother, lost her leg due to diabetes a long time ago. And when we were visiting at her house, we were playing hide and seek, and I didn't notice that she didn't have her leg on, just pretty natural. So I was playing hide and seek with my cousins, and I decided to hide in her in her wardrobe, and I was trying to be all quiet and I was all titled down, and the next thing you know, this leg fell at me, but it still had her shoe and her sock on.
Oh my God.
I screamed so loud when this leg sort of just fell on top of me. So why she put it in the cupboard, I have no idea. But it didn't have any crazy magic powers or anything like that there. But yeah, oops.
I would.
On tour, my friend put his shoes in the freezer by accident. We got drunk.
Yeah,
The shoes ended up in the freezer.
the only shoe related story I have whenever I was with my friends and drunk was that one night I was so drunk that I took my shoes off and put them down in front of me, and I slept in an armchair, and in the middle of the night I decided to be sick, and that was sick in the middle of my just right into my shoes. So yeah, that was
What's this bowl here? I guess it's from that.
Yeah, but the annoying thing was that I had to walk barefoot the whole way back, because I have a real thing about vomit. So I just put them straight in the bin. So
Ooh.
we look at the comments. Awesome skin. Your teeth.
I agree with you, Swagger.
Thank you for making me not
Snake legs. Yes, I'm here for snake legs. You better get fucking snake legs. Liam here, Hevro, 2000.
You could become.
Sounds like a shitty robot. Liam Hevro. Maybe it's like a Russian robot. Liam Hevro 3000.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Liam Hevro 2000.
We are.
Armed fighting combat robot.
We must be armed with many happy vodkas. Yes. Good time.
Yo, I hung out with this fucking awesome Russian cellist this past week. He's amazing. His name is Maxim. There's just like giant, deep voice, like
My name
kind of intimidating Russian dude who's just like a total softie with a fucking twisted sense of humor. He's totally our people. He was so fun.
Hell
he was
yeah.
so funny. We were cracking each other up the whole time, and we're probably going to become good friends, and I'll probably have him play on a track soon.
Good.
Imagine lovely cello, like classical concert cellist playing over
love
this, you know?
Supreme Lord Ender, I've just noticed that you've mentioned, do we keep a track of anything regarding the threads in the stream? I'd love to say yes, but
I was going to say, are you going to tell him, or am I going to tell him?
you do it, because you're probably more politically correct whenever I say it.
Nope, not at all.
No.
Let's just hope for the
Ender.
fucking best and rely on our incredible sharp resources and memory and the kindness of people contributing to our subreddit every week.
That was the most important
We're
thing.
looking at what's new. That's it.
Yeah, normally the threads are picked a couple of hours before. We sort of we don't read them because we don't spoil them, but then we skim over them. I have a couple of threads. Well, yeah, you can actually see all my random bookmarks because I don't hide them. There's Killas there. There's my fantastic character. My D&D Beyond. There's all the stats. I know. There's the builder that I've got in to fix my roof because it's leaking. John Doherty, property. Look at us here. Look, he does property improvements. He's out to help me.
Newton Nards.
Newton
Man,
Nards.
Imagine having Nards big enough that you have a fucking town named after them.
He's
Hell yeah.
The funny thing about Newton Nards is that everybody has webbed hands and toes because they're all mutants.
Oh, really?
It's Mutant Ards, as it's called here. It's the other town on the other side of the road, and you go there. And yes, they're all mutants, but unfortunately, Mrs. Ripper's from there, and my child is half mutant. So, but
I just hear like the X-Men theme playing, except
no,
drunk.
it's not cool like that. But the thing about it is that it's actually probably nicer there, and where I come from, you have to make fun of them, but to use the distance is actually probably the same town or city. It's actually only like 7 miles away, so it's not that far.
Oh God!
Yeah, I'm advertising somebody that shouldn't be.
Hey Ender, by the way, I know we don't take or keep track of all of our like the little threads like you're saying, but I do have 15.7 gigabytes of voice stories that I've narrated for Scott from the very first one I did.
I have to start deleting shit soon.
Me too.
I've got
because I got to edit a bunch of stuff so I can make like little
lazy.
compilations and then delete it.
Every video, text to speech right from the very start, even the odd random ones that were done weren't D&D based. I have every screenshot. Script,
We definitely need to make compilations of those puppies, dude.
everything. I've kept everything.
Oh,
You can see there, that box there, that's my mouse box. Everything's on it. Never lost a thing. Yeah. I don't know why
That's
I kept it
crazy.
up, but I did. We've done this one here. We were talking about this one before, weren't we, Dave? A surprise encounter with your friendly neighborhood necromancer.
ooh,
Yeah.
this one looks cool. I like
Should I get some
necromancers.
Spicy, mysterious, evil-sounding music going for this one.
Oh, please
Do
do.
you think
That would
See
make
a
it
little
so
bit more
cool.
evil.
Do you think, Bran, that
Ooh, let's
you
go Hungarian minor. This is an evil scale. Listen to this.
Dude, are you trying to like summon the devil in here?
Oh yeah.
No, I need a toilet break. Although we're due to finish pretty soon, but we might roll on a wee bit longer. Brian, do you think you could read the first 2 paragraphs while I
will.
While I skip off for 2 seconds?
Yeah, we'll credit the guy after. That way I know who it is.
It is
oh, wait,
done
no, I see
by
it.
Mistborn
20.
20. Yeah. Okay. One
Yeah,
second.
okay.
Right.
Mistborn 20, if you're out there, thank you very much. We'll read your full story in 2 seconds when Scott comes back, but we will continue that in a moment. A surprise
Brian, is
encounter
Scott
with...
Pooping.
Scooter is taking a pooter, okay? We just have to
Scooter's
be...
dropping his Scooter's sitting on his tutor, taking a pooter.
He's sitting on his tutor, taking a pooter. We got to
Too
get
much
back to
hooters.
his computer. He had too much hooter.
Had too much hooters. Got to get back to his computer.
Dave, he had way too many shooters, if you know what I mean.
Man needs a lesson. Call this guy a tutor.
Mistborn 20, we're going to do you justice, and we laugh because we have fun here, thanks to people like you. Surprise encounter with your friendly neighborhood necromancer. Won't you be my neighbor? Fairly new DM here. This was my first attempt at homebrew, which I ended up pretty proud of. My players found a mostly destroyed town. They had heard rumors of undead in the area, and as they approached, they could see them walking around with tools and carrying newly dead bodies. As they approached, they saw a man walking among the undead, completely unaffected. Correctly assuming he was a necromancer controlling the undead, they snuck into the town and see the man find 2 small children, a boy and a girl, hiding in a partially destroyed house. They go to make a move, and then notice the undead are ignoring the children. Confused, they climb into a building to see what happens. The man approaches the children, kneels down, and hands them some food and says, "Don't worry, you're safe now. Do you know what happened here?" They can't make out more than this, but the man just appears to stand there and listen to these 2 children, whilst the undead carry tools and bodies. Eventually, the man puts a hand in his pocket, and a blue glow rises out of it, and a female ghost seems to flow from his pocket. The children look shocked and excited at the same time, crying out that it was their mom. The ghost seems confused to be there, but runs to the children, comforting them. The man then walks away, saying he will give them some privacy, grabbing some tools and walking alongside. Just gonna wait for Scooter McTutor.
Scooter McGooter's there.
Walking alongside the undead. Whenever he passed one, he placed his hand on their shoulder and thanked them for their help. Then they then saw the man and the undead digging graves of the slain villagers. One by one, the undead stepped into the graves they built while the man filled them in, the undead leaving them. Eventually, the party approached him, and he explained that he is indeed a necromancer who uses the undead to help the living. He arrived after this town was destroyed and has been using the dead villagers to help give the deceased funerals. He also gives those that passed away a place to stay until they are ready to move on. He returns to the children and apologizes to the mother that time was up for the day, and that she would need to either pass on or wait with him, but promises to allow her to speak to her children when he can. He then disappears off for a while. When he was next seen, he was talking to a different blue spirit, a female half-elf, telling her about the people he met and the fate of the town. Etharis. Thank you. Let me see where I picked up. After some idle chat, he tells her of a song he heard in a tavern not far away and begins humming it before asking his wife to dance. After a while, she begins to fade, and he promises to tell her more stories when he can. With tears falling from his eyes, she fades away into his pocket. He then helps them find the people who killed the villagers before escorting the two children to a Fandolin, to try and get them a new home there. I've never had a moment like this where the players went from ready to go in guns blazing to confused to helping the character with funeral rites. I was pretty happy with it. And honestly, a story like that kind of touches my heart, because as much as I do like funny, crazy, horrible, laughable things and sometimes really gory things, to see something so wholesome come out of a necromancer, you would never expect it. You wouldn't expect Mr. Rogers, the necromancer. But here it is. And that's sort of one of the most peaceful things I can think of to do with a necromancer. So kudos for you to come up with such a brilliant idea.
I feel bad that I missed the first wee bit.
That was one of the most beautiful stories I think I've read. And this is one of my favorite stories on the entire channel thus far. So there you go.
I have to go back and watch it.
Wow.
Honestly, honest to God, I love the beautifully written ones that have a really, really intricate, I guess I want to say somber idea, because it wasn't quite a wholesome idea, but it was very somber in the sense that there was a sense of peace. There was a sense of serenity to it, but it was also very grim. And it was sort of like you're just racking your brain with what you can feel and what you should be thinking with it. A lot of empathy in there, and I love that. It was beautiful.
Brilliant. Thank you, Dave, for the music too.
Oh, honestly, that made me get into the story even more. So
I didn't even hear the story because I was so in the zone on the music. So I feel like it's probably worth it.
You got to watch it back too.
I was on some spice. I'm definitely gonna watch it back. This skill is very spicy.
Your music actually made it so much better.
Yeah,
honestly,
I'm so glad you liked it. I like making music. It's
Yeah,
my favorite thing to do. Don't get me wrong. I love reading D&D stories, and I love playing D&D, but not as much as I love making noises. That is why that is my name.
That's
the noise to this story was something completely special, and you brought it to life and almost made me cry because the story was that good.
Yeah, we get to hear the music because it's playing through Dave's audio feed, so it helps. It helps. Okay, I think we're going to pick one more story. What do you think, boys? Dave, you're going to have to do double time here.
Okay, what's the story? I'm happy to read a story. Oh, so lovely. Man, I was enjoying that. I was really in a zone there, man. Something was speaking through me.
Oh, I love
goosebumps. I love that. Yeah. That's a good feeling.
I had that shiver go up my spine when you were doing that. I'm like, dude, this is so fitting. I love it.
Awesome.
Mistborn's here. Hey, Mistborn.
Oh, shoot.
That was my favorite story I've ever read on this channel thus far.
That's the first time that's happened. We've actually we do get some people to go back and watch them and go, "Oh, that's my story. That's my story." But
yeah, never live.
No, it hasn't happened live. Brilliant.
Oh, has it a few times?
I don't think so. Not live. Not live. I don't think anybody shared it out live.
Yeah.
That's the reason why we do this, in the hope that actually somebody has put a story in and it gets read live. If you write a story, we sort of skim back through over the previous week. Pick the best ones, and then not everyone makes it, but I know I still read through them anyway. Normally, sort of about a Tuesday or Wednesday, see what's going about, and have a good read. And then I imagine Dave's voice for some and Brian's voice for the other, because I spent so much time listening to their voices that sounds a bit weird, doesn't it? But Dave, do you wanna try one?
Sure.
This one looks good.
Posted by you/JustDags 6 days ago. It's what my character would do. The good version. I know the phrase, it's what my character would do, gets a lot of flack, much of it deserved. But what about the times when your character would genuinely do something that would be against what you, the player, wants to do? My character is a half-orc forge cleric that is true neutral. In one of our first dungeon crawls, we encountered a creature that is traditionally evil, but we get it to help us clear out the sewers it was trapped in. The creature never exactly betrayed us, although it did leave out some information that would have been helpful. We are all level 3 at this point, so it doesn't take too much to get us badly hurt. Finally, find the treasure, and it is magically locked, but we can take it with us. Our dwarven barbarian, who had been treating the creature like a friend and encouraged us all to trust it, attacks it immediately. This is where I, the player, and Leda, my character, have a difference in opinion. As a player, this thing has been annoying, and I have wanted to crush its little head. Leda, however, doesn't enjoy violence for the sake of violence, and so does a religion check. After discovering that the creature is actually neutral, I decline to attack it. This permits it to escape our dwarf. The party was not pleased that I let him go, but I feel that it was the right move for my character. Asked later out of character about it, I had to try very hard not to say it was what my character would have done. Instead, I basically said that it was not an evil creature and didn't deserve to be killed simply for its race, and whatever vaguely implied crimes it may have committed in its past. Had we found evidence of such things, my character would have definitely attacked. Okay, that's what my character would do story. Does anyone else have any good stories about what their character would do?
Well, what would your characters do? What's one of your stories that you guys might have from the stream? If you guys can think of one.
One thing that my character would do is, like, when presented with a metal item, he would avoid using it at all costs.
Really? So he's dedicated a druid in that regard, where he would never touch a metal item.
Well, it's not that he wouldn't touch it. It's just that, like, he doesn't really like them, and so he would look for any excuse not to use it. Like, obviously, like, if he was about to die, like when he was making an escape from prison, he used chains.
Yeah. As
a weapon, because it was just an improvised weapon. But as soon as he could get his staff back, I mean, it's back to druid life as usual. But yeah, that's one thing that my character would do. And another thing that my character would do, unfortunately, which got him killed, was try and steal a tooth out of the mouth of a living T-Rex.
Now, what prompted him to do that?
He wanted to turn it into a greatsword. He was negative.
That's fair.
He had like a 9 intelligence.
Okay, yeah. I mean,
sometimes you have to go back on your values and, to do what's right. My character probably would. He always tries to see the best in people, but he likes setting fire to stuff because he's bright red, and he likes shiny objects too. So yes, he tries to do what's best, but if something. He can be easily swayed. But that's
he's like any bird. He just likes a shiny.
He likes a shiny. That's it. We got trouble, didn't we, on the beach with a ship with items strewed everywhere. We got into a fight over that. So yeah, that's the way it's got to be done. But yeah, Brian, when are you going to join us on the live stream on the Wednesday night stream? You coming yet?
When I know Nolan wants me in there eventually, so I said I'll work on it.
Yeah.
I have a dwarf ready.
Come play.
I have a dwarf ready eventually. He's been sitting there in my desk drawer, just chilling out, waiting for the perfect time. Maybe I'll come back as like as an evil fucking villain for a one shot. That'd be fun.
That would be so fun.
Like I just pop in out of nowhere and Scott has to like frantically put me in the screen.
Yeah, well, I had to do a wee bit of jiggery pokery because Dave wasn't there.
With my stream mastery.
Yeah, Dave does the stream on the Wednesday because it means I can concentrate on the playing.
Yeah,
I do
fair.
the stream today because I'm the one doing all the ice flicking. Yeah, but I might have broke that a few times, which is quite funny. But I've got a dog with me now. You gonna sleep? You saying hello?
Oh, rest in sleepy times, little puppo.
Oh, sleepy puppy.
She's got
my baby.
a new harness and extending lead.
What a floopy
and
little baby.
she's been a good girl, haven't you? You been a good girl? You saying
Yeah,
hello?
she's so good. Oh, she loves her dad.
It's my only daughter.
It's a little woofer.
It's my only
That's her
daughter.
little heart.
So it is. My only daughter.
I love her.
You give me kisses?
She's perfect.
I've seen what you were eating earlier
Oh
on.
my God! Look at her little paws, though, Dave. She has little white paws.
Yeah,
Oh,
she's
She got little boots.
she's got wee socks and a wee white
Oh.
chest.
so precious.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I love her.
And a rainbow
Little
color.
marshmallow.
I'm helpless against dogs. I turn into a child. I can't believe you've done this.
I think
Yeah.
the thing about it is that
I was like cool and mysterious for a while. Now the fucking jig is up, you fucking dick.
she's trying to kiss me, but what happens is she nibbles on my beard and then bites my face. So I know.
But she loves you.
I know.
She's just so excited.
Puppies and kittens
Oh,
turned me into a little
bless.
girl.
Yeah, same.
What do you-
Same. I have no control over it. It is not my fault.
Exactly. I would just be like, cuddle time.
What age are you, Luna?
Oh yeah.
What age are
Oh.
you? She's,
I didn't choose the snug life. The snug life chose me.
she'll be
Absolutely.
6 months old now. She's a good girl. Aren't
I
you?
didn't choose to love cat beans. I just knew the cat beans were for me.
My cat is out the back. So it is. Out the back. It's still warm here, so it's okay. She's got a sofa
What a
to sleep
wiggly
on.
little love.
But not like
Dude,
one of
that
those.
dog.
Not one of those.
How big is she gonna get?
She's nearly at maximum capacity, I'd say. She's about you big.
Oh,
But she's you half dash hound, aren't
About
you?
as big as she gets. Oh,
And
she's so tiny.
she might be getting a bit
She's so
chunkier.
small.
She's half dash hound, half cocker spaniel. So that's why she
that explains the energy. Yeah.
Yeah, but then she's got the stretch.
Definitely.
She's got the stretch. And the funny thing is that people would recognize it as a sausage dog if they're under the age of about 10, but nobody else really notices it. It's a bit weird.
I didn't even notice it was a part cocker, but now that you said it, it's like Chelsea has a cocker, and my God, he's an energetic little turd.
Yeah,
So
look
I
at
get that.
Look at the ears. The ears are a good giveaway. The big, massive ears, but the color. But she takes off like a rocket, and but she's well behaved. Apart from the fact that she still pees on the floor, but
She'll grow out of that one though.
Yeah,
They all do.
Hope fingers crossed before the winter comes, because I couldn't be bothered leaving the back door open all the time for her to go out.
Yeah, you have like frozen puddles of piss everywhere.
It's not
like,
that
oh
there,
no,
it's
honey,
the,
I'm gonna slip.
No, when she goes to pee, she pees at the door. So you walk through the door and then you stand on it every time. It's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. I think it's probably. I know everybody's having fun. Dave, you having fun playing?
Does it sound like I'm having fun?
Yes, it does, because you make noises.
I'm enjoying the shit out of myself.
Dave's
today. I'm
just
in a
having
very
literally
musical
the-
meditation.
He's in a meditation zone right now.
Brad, you
He's
having-
I'm just
ascending.
feeling very musically open today.
Did you-
It doesn't happen every day, so I gotta let it out, you know?
you have fun, Brad?
I had fun today. I had some good stories. I literally found my favorite story, and I had the best music playing to that story.
Oh my god.
So,
it's
like,
good.
that was like that's sort of like one of my dream jobs, is to have the ability to read for a living, like really, really nice, epic, even if it's not like super long, like it could be short stories, kid stories even, but with sound like that in the background, so I can get really into it and just, I guess, help other people dive into it too. So I
Yeah.
had tons of fun.
Good. What's your plans for tonight, Brad? It's what time's it there? Is it 6 o'clock?
6 o'clock for me right now.
What are
I
you gonna do this
figured
evening?
chill out, relax, maybe catch up on The Boys, because there's another episode out I didn't get to see yet.
Oh, I watched it in 2 weeks now. I'm raging.
Have you seen season 2 at all yet? Or
No, I'm
still on
only a
one?
4th episode of season 1 because my stepson decided that he was going to watch it on the Amazon Prime and totally messed up where I was. And then I was watching other stuff. I barely, well, say watching other stuff. I've been watching a lot of YouTube stuff.
Yeah, me
this
too.
week. So I haven't really got around to it yet, but that's definitely on the to-do list. Dave, it's a bit earlier for you. What's it, 3 o'clock there? What's your plans for the rest of the day?
3 o'clock. Rest of the night, I'm basically just gonna hop in the shower, get changed, go see my lady. We're gonna hang out.
Sweet.
I hope you guys have a good time, Dave.
We will. We're really vibing. Like it's a pretty new thing. I'm pretty excited about it.
It's
we
good
like
that
each other.
it's good that you guys like each other and that everyone's on the same page, though. That's the best
It's
part.
weird how much we're on the same page. I was telling Scott earlier, some freaky shit happened. This morning I had a nightmare, and it was one of the first dreams that I like remember having in a while. Basically, the nightmare was I had loaded like a bunch of guitar gear and amps and stuff into my car, and I was just walking into a studio to like check out a room and like get started doing some work or something. And I came back out to the parking lot to start unloading, and my car was gone.
I don't know.
What happened to your car? Did the
I don't
dream
know,
tell
this
you?
was the dream. I
Huh.
ran around the neighborhood frantically searching for it, asking like homeless people if they'd seen someone like pull it out of the driveway and stuff like that. I saw a bunch of cars that looked almost like it, but they were not my car. And then like I started freaking out and panicking, and then I was like, man, I wish I could do this day over in the dream. And then I realized that it was a dream, and I woke up.
Damn. Okay, that's
And
actually
the s-
kind of
and
deep.
the second that I woke up, to the second, 8 a.m., she texted me.
Huh. So she texts you the moment you wake up.
Yeah.
Okay,
The
see,
second I woke up.
if I'm being honest, now that people in the world could say what they want, I've had enough experience personally to say I think this is true. The universe has a weird way of telling you certain things. Sometimes it's very direct, sometimes it's pretty blunt. But I personally believe that the universe around us, the stars, they have some level of communication. And when something that weird happens, that's usually a sign that you're on the right track, in my opinion.
Every single time. I was just talking about
Yeah.
this with Scott before you
That's
arrived
exactly
in the
what I-
chat. Synchronicity is an indicator of
Yeah.
something to follow. Every
Exactly.
single time.
Even if
Every
it's not
single
like
time
a
I've
thing.
seen a little synchronicity, even if it seems like something innocuous, I pursue it, and then it turns into some crazy, unexpected, incredible, golden new opportunity to grow.
Exactly. Even if now that's the thing though. It can tell you any sort of thing. It's just like it's giving you the urge saying, listen, this is something that could happen. It could be good, could be bad. You could have a great experience out of it, bad experience. It doesn't matter.
But it's
You need to
important that it
pursue
happens.
Exactly. It's important. It tells you to be confident and just go for it. So
Yeah.
the universe
So
does
that
give
was
signs,
weird.
guys. It does. That's awesome though. Hell
The
yeah.
second I woke up, that was just super strange. And then I had another weird dream after that where for whatever reason I had to like execute one of my favorite singers of all time for crimes of treason. I have no idea why I was the executioner, but it really was
Mm-hmm.
tough to deal with.
This maybe you were trying to like kill off a part of yourself in your dream then.
Yeah.
Just, and then your girl just called like, hey, what's up? Are you okay? It's like, I just killed off a part of who I was that was betraying my inner self.
But I couldn't do it. I couldn't kill him.
Talk about
I
dreams.
said I had to. I didn't say I could.
Ah, well, fair enough. Maybe it's just a sign then that you have to kill off a little bit there.
Well,
I don't know.
Maybe.
it's 6 o'clock where Brian is. It's 3 o'clock where Dave is, and it's 10 past 11 here. So I'm going to get to enjoy all my own dreams soon enough.
Let Morpheus embrace you, my friend, as my father would say.
I don't know. I can't really discuss what I dream about on live stream on YouTube.
The last time you said I remember the last time, family friendly, and then he just goes on a tangent.
No tangent tonight. I'm tired.
Yeah, me too. I'm gonna go to bed right after this. Just take a nap for an hour or so, rejuvenate the soul.
Yeah.
I'm an old man. What can I say? And Dave's music's like putting me in a trance, which is a good thing because that kind of music's the stuff I sleep to, literally.
It's giving me the sleepies too, yeah.
It's Dave ASMR channel. Holy shit. He could though. He would be so popular doing like classical ASMR. That's ridiculous.
Just like peaceful piano. Well, I can't read sheet music all that well. Definitely not on this
Doesn't matter. Your
instrument.
jams would put people to sleep for like tons of millions of people.
Just have like my new band name be Sad Piano ASMR.
Oh, sad piano.
Right,
It
Brian?
is sad sounding. Like, listen to how
Yes,
sad
sir.
this piano is.
Shall I play it? Shall Dave play us off like everyone's socials and stuff ready?
I think it's time to get the socials going.
I think it's time to
All
get the
right.
socials going. Rip
All
Daddy
right, let
needs his
me-
beauty rest.
Let me grab this. We'll start off with Dave, who you're listening to right now, play some really beautiful music. You can find all about him at http://www.davemakesnoises.com. You can find all of his socials there. I will link it here. But if you look in the description, you're going to see all of our socials, so you won't have to deal with me Matt posting them. For me, my name's Brian. I'm a voice actor streamer. You can find me at brianvaughnva at youtube.com or on Twitter if you'd like. That's all good too. For Big Rig Rips over here, who is going to go to sleepy time very soon, you can find him right here because you're watching him.
Yep.
But I also encourage you to go onto his subreddit r/MrRipper and follow him on Twitter, which we'll find that in the description below, because we want to know all about you and your stories. So on r/MrRipper, you can leave any story you want, start a new thread, or post an existing one too. We want to know, so tell us everything about your D&D, Pathfinder, or other TTRPG experiences. And there you go.
I got to do something very different before we go. What I've started doing is tagging all the channel sponsors. So I have. There's actually a couple of new sponsors next week, isn't there, boys? Not next week,
Yes.
but the week after.
Yes.
It's this
Yeah.
week coming up.
Yeah, very exciting. Some of them very, very good. Channel sponsors. We have ReRoll. I haven't done one there this week. You can go to reroll.co. Not spelt correctly. You gonna type that in, Brad? No, it don't matter. Campfire Pro as well. That's if you're looking for managing your own campaign. So if you're a complete muppet like me and forget basically what day of the week it is, that can keep you all under control. Craig's Cottage, cool dice bags. I seen he's in the chat as well. Still waiting for mine, Craig. Still waiting. If you use the code RIPDaddy, you get 20% off until some point in October. You can correct this in the chat. And Adventures Coffee. I'm going to have to hit them up, Dave. What do you think for another bag? You've got another video to do too, haven't you?
Yeah, I've still got that bag that they sent me of the whole bean. I just haven't had a chance to get around to it because I don't have room in my fridge while I'm at this current place. I have a small fridge. I got a mini fridge, and I need to put my bucket in the fridge to do the thing correctly to make the cold brew.
I need, I think we need to hit them up for more coffee. I only got one bag. It took months for mine to come too, which is really bad. Didn't have a knife through it from US Customs either, which was pretty. And yeah, and look, Brian's got the links up on the thing. I dropped that on him, and he still was so professional that he managed to get them fired up.
Copy
And
and
he didn't
paste,
even
baby.
sneak his own coupon code into Craig's Cottage. Look at that.
I would never do that. I only did that one time just to
Sack
play
full
with
of
everyone.
fans.
Boy.
I just wanted to show up. Like,
Sneaky boy.
All I want to do
Sneaky boy.
is thank everybody who's ever watched. Thank anybody who's ever contributed a story, whether they contributed it on their own accord or I might have borrowed it off Reddit. I'd like to thank everybody in the stream. I'd like to thank everybody part of the video. Dave, Brian, thank you very much. And yeah, thank you very much, everybody, for watching.
Always happy to be here. Glad we have a great audience.
And yeah, thank you again as well to Dave for his lovely music, because it's making me tired and I'm going to go and put the dog to bed, lock the doors, and go to sleep. I think that's the plan. So
Yeah, I'm going to bed with you, man. I'll see you in La La Land.
enjoy your nap, Brian. Enjoy the rest
Will
of your
do.
day, Brian. Everybody else have fun no matter where you are in the world.